Welcome to the Bo Jackson Elite Commitment Spotlight. We're here with Nate Dorinsky, and 2021 outfielder and right-handed pitcher from Centennial High School. How you doing, Nate?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well. We were talking before. Give me an idea. How's your senior year going? It's been a weird year, online school right now, but overall, how are things going for you at Centennial?
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. So I know most schools are kind of doing hybrid stuff, but we've been 100% online. And so, so far it's been all right, but it's not ideal. Just sort of trying to make the best of it. But we still have access to the high school. We use the weight room a lot, so that's been a big help.
That's huge for sure. Well, we want to definitely touch on everything with your commitment to Seton Hill. What an awesome accomplishment, a great Division II program. Excited to dive into that. But before we get into that, take us all the way back. Like, when did you first start playing baseball? What age was it? And what was that like?
Yeah, so I probably started playing around 4 or 5-ish. Started with t-ball. I kind of got into it because my older brother, he played baseball ever since I can remember. So I just wanted to do what he was doing. And so I played up until 11U on like a rec team, and then 12U joined a travel team, and then kind of took it from there. And then was fortunate enough to get on the Black Sox, which was last year's team, and that's been incredible for me.
So great. What's your family like? You said, older brother who's an athlete or was an athlete, and how many siblings do you have? Were you in kind of an athletic family, or give us an idea on that?
Yeah, so I have three older siblings. Not really too athletic. My sister, one of my sisters played softball for a little bit, but it was mainly my brother who did the sports, and it's kind of unfortunate. He got stuck on a bad coach and a bad team and kind of lost his passion, and he would have been a really good ball player also.
That's always tough for sure. What age was it where you felt like, I really want to pursue playing college baseball? You mentioned travel ball became a thing at 11, 12 years old. How much later was it where the dream of advancing to collegiate level became a thing for you?
Yeah, so it was probably around 15, which is seems sort of late, because kind of around 13 and 14 I sort of lost my passion for the game, was kind of drifting away from it, and I was fortunate to get on a team where the coach really pushed me to go for it because he saw the potential in me. And so ever since then I've just kind of run with it.
That's great. Give us an idea. You mentioned your Black Sox team, the 17U Black Sox who you're with last summer, which will become the 18U Bo Jackson Elite. And, Mitch Wygan, the coach, Patrick Lavelle was with you guys this last summer before moving it to Ohio Northern. But what I've noticed with that group, seemed extremely tight-knit. Like it seemed like the relationships were through the roof. But what was that experience like playing for them? And give us a window into that.
Yeah, it was great for me because, before the Black Sox, I'd been playing for some teams that I was really the only one that was looking to go play college baseball and, through the levels. And so it was really great to get on a team where all the guys kind of had the same goal in mind and everyone was focused and ready to go. And the coaches were great. They were, especially Patrick Lavelle, in my recruiting process, because I'm not really the kind of guy to reach out to coaches and stuff like that. So he was really instrumental in my recruitment.
Yeah, he's done a phenomenal job. Coach Wygan as well, and great group of guys. And we were definitely pumped to see Coach Lavelle get that opportunity and move on. But his investment into your career and multiple others was incredible. So we've talked about this before, but you're not a 2-sport athlete or 3-sport athlete. Baseball's been your thing. You mentioned a period of time there where maybe you lost a little bit of passion. How have you, as a solo athlete, like solo sport athlete, kept that fire burning? Are there parts in the year where you maybe take your foot off the gas pedal to kind of regroup? Are there other parts where, it gets mundane? Give us a window into a year-round baseball training at your age.
Yeah, for me, really, it's year-round. Like, I never really lose that drive or whatnot, never really a dull spot. Right now for me, I'm kind of actually able to pull myself away, take that take that break as bad as I want to keep training, just kind of let my body rest and, mentally also.
Really cool. So give us a window, with year-round training, yourself, and I think of Ben Duncan, I think CJ Dean. I consistently see you guys in there, all the time at the Dome. How beneficial has the Dome been for your development as a spot to go to, coaching instructors, and just access to train? Give us a window and kind of what that's been for you.
Yeah, the Dome's been really, really good for me because, I actually tried out for the Black Sox in the summer, and I didn't make the team, but CJ Dean invited me out because he was with the Black Sox already, invited me out to come hit with him. So I used the Dome really almost every day for the whole winter. And I was fortunate enough to get recognized by the same coaches, and they offered me a spot on the team, which is really great. And then I used it. We used it all the way up until you guys closed because of COVID. But right as soon as you guys opened, I was in there almost every day, as many times as I could.
Yeah, that's incredible, and crazy concept to think of the progression you've made. We'll get into your recruiting, and I definitely want to touch on Seton Hill and just how great of a program it is. But to kind of go from where you were at to going to a very high-profile Division II college is an incredible achievement. So let's talk a little bit about your recruiting timeline. You mentioned you're not the type of guy that's going to really, overextend yourself or really kind of pester coaches. But give us some insight into your recruiting timeline. How did things develop? What age were you when things started to become okay? Like we're getting some traction with recruiting and emails and visits and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, really, it didn't start until like the middle of the summer of this year. I went to one of the PBR showcases and got some attention, but not a whole lot. And then from that PBR event, I got invited to the top prospects one, and I got some more exposure there. And I was in contact with a couple, like JUCOs, Division threes, nothing real big. And then really at the start of the fall is when things started rolling in, and that's when I got in contact with Seton Hill and some other like local or statewide Division III schools.
So good. Let's talk a little bit about the Seton Hill timeline. And how did they first reach out to you, and what did that process look like, and kind of give us an idea of how that progressed?
Yeah, so Patrick Lavelle, he actually has had some connections to former Heidelberg coaches who now coach at Seton Hill, and so he sent out some of my stuff to them, and they were kind of talking back and forth about me at the end of the summer. And then I think the second week in the fall, they wanted me out for a visit, and so I came out and visited them. I really liked it. It's a great campus, great team. And then the day after our fall season ended, I went out for a second visit and watched one of their inner squads and whatnot, and then that's when I committed.
Give us an idea of that inner squad, and we'll get into kind of the success of Seton Hill. You're watching a Division II, typically a nationally ranked Division II. I know Seton Hill probably has averaged close to high 30s win totals over the last 6, 7, 8 years, multiple years with 40-plus wins. We're talking about a very, very successful Division II program. Was it eye-opening seeing that inner squad, seeing the physicality of players and velocities? What was that like?
Yeah, it was their first inner squad of the year. So obviously it wasn't like up to speed necessarily, but it was great just seeing guys compete, and you talked about the physicality of them and the velocity, like consistent velocity of freshmen. Freshmen were pitching, throwing low 90s, and that's something I'm gonna have to face in the next year.
Was that surprising? What was your background with the caliber of Division II baseball and knowledge of D2, and were you did you leave that visit going like, man, this is a high caliber level, or did you kind of already know that before?
I kind of did some research on Seton Hill and their conference, the PSAC, because I know they're probably the second best conference in the country. So I mean, yeah, I just kind of knew what I was getting into with them.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the PSAC is no question one of the best Division II conferences in the country, and there are some programs in the PSAC that could give many solid Division I programs a run for their money, and it's definitely an impressive level. Give us an idea. What would you talk? If you could talk to other people, or this mantra in the recruiting process that's kind of Division I or bust, and this idea that the only level of legitimate college baseball is Division I. Knowing what you know now about Seton Hill and knowing kind of what you're getting into with the PSAC, how would you approach talking to someone who maybe has that perspective of Division I or bust?
Yeah, I mean, Division II is no joke, especially the PSAC. They send guys to the pros too, and the PSAC over the last couple of years has sent more guys to the drafts in some of these mid-major conferences. So definitely don't rule it out. The competition is right up there with some of these Division I schools.
No question, for sure. Give us an idea. You're heading into your senior year. You had a COVID-shortened junior year. What are some things you want to accomplish in this next, stretch here, your home stretch of high school baseball and summer baseball? As you look at it, what are some things you want to accomplish and get done?
Yeah, well, definitely for high school, especially. I mean, like me and CJ, we go to the same high school, and we lost out on one of our best teams last year when the season was cut short, or well, I guess not really even at all. Definitely looking to make a run, see what we can do, especially win our conference or our division. That's definitely a big thing, and just looking to in the summer, just compete, just really get after it and prepare myself for college in the fall.
Kind of on that note, how important was it in your college search for a competitive program? Your abilities, there's no doubt you would have had some opportunities to play at some special programs. When you looked at them side by side, how important was it to head to a winning environment for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely high up there on my list, because I don't want to go somewhere where I'm going to lose. I want to go somewhere where all the guys are competing and win a championship, really.
So good. So last question I've got for you, if you could go back and knowing what you know now, you're committed to a premier program in the Midwest, and you've had quite a journey here the last few years. If you could go back and talk to maybe 8th grade Nate or freshman Nate, what advice would you give him, knowing what you know now about the process of recruiting, about development, about the time that it takes and everything? Kind of give us a little window on what that conversation would be like.
Yeah, I mean, I probably tell him, just go for it. This is something you're good at. This is something you like. See what you can do with it, and don't be shy to put yourself in some uncomfortable positions to see, reach out to different places, and just really just see what you can do. See what your fullest potential is.
That's incredible, man. And I'm just hearing kind of, a perspective of growth mindset just permeating through this computer screen right now from you. And I think it's going to serve you really well as you head into a highly competitive environment that's just going to make you better and push your limits of what your capabilities are, which is all you can ask for. So we are so pumped for you, man. I'm thrilled that you're heading there, and I think it's going to be a great journey for you. We're glad to have you with us in the organization, and excited for another great year of development here this winter, and pumped to see you guys, CJ and Ben and other guys on that Black Sox team hanging out at the Dome and getting better. So we'll talk to you soon. Training starts here soon, man. Pumped to see you. So,
yep.
Awesome, man. Well, have a great evening. We'll chat later.
Thank you, too.
All right.